Well, let's do from the regions. There's been quite a number of issues coming out of some of our regions this week, making headlines in the news. We want to touch base with our correspondents, and we want to start with the Upper West region. Rafiq Salam is on the ground for us on any breaking news stories and developing stories, as well as exclusive stories. And this week, well, I guess on the back of the soldiers beating citizens in Wa, there was a committee that was set up, but unlike the committee's work in Nigeria, this is not an open door one, but Rafiq has been picking a few things from the committee's work. The president also visited the region. Rafiq is joining us this morning with an update on some of the issues. There's also significantly that fertilizer story that he also filed, and the president commenting on the fertilizer issue. So Rafiq, good morning if you can hear me. I hope you're well.
Good morning, Mama B. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. So Rafiq, let's start, I guess, with the soldiers. What is the very latest? What has happened this week, and where are we?
The four-member joint committee that was tasked by the Minister of National Security to look into the issue ended their work on Tuesday, and they are now back to Accra to do their final report. But let me also tell you that as I speak with you now, there's the Parliamentary Select Committee on Defense and Interior who also came into town yesterday. They met the Upper West Regional Minister, and then this morning they will be heading to the Presidential Lodge. That's where they will be meeting the victims, and then after which they will meet the overlord of the Walla traditional area, now for the people the fourth.
Okay, great. I think there was news that the soldiers had been demoted or something of the sort. What do you know?
3 soldiers have been demoted to junior ranks. One was a staff sergeant, and he's been demoted to corporal, and then also 2 of them were corporals, and they have been demoted to private. That's their lowest rank. And also, there was also a committee chaired by the commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Jima, on one of the lieutenants, officer on duty, who was alleged to have been given opportunity to the 86 soldiers to go out. They were still continuing with his trial. So his trial continued last Tuesday, and so they are still on it. We're yet to get the outcome of that trial. But 8 other soldiers, junior, young officer, young soldiers, as I speak to you now, are now in 30-day detention. They call it Garoon, and so they have not been detained for 30 days. And so these are the preliminary findings. These are the initial punishment that has been meted out to the soldiers. But we are waiting for the final outcome of the committee, the joint committee that has been tasked by the national security.
In the meantime, Rafiq, how about the victims?
The victims at the moment, one problem about the Walla man is that there are certain institutions or certain things that they fear or they have phobia for. You talk about the police, you talk about the police station as an institution, you talk about the soldier, you talk about the rain or the hospital. These are 4 key things that the Walla man has phobia for. And so when the committee that came out, one of the challenges that they were facing was to get these victims to the police, and also to have a medical report covering the alleged brutalities. The committee tried their best. Not many of them would like to go there, because even when I went out on the street to speak to people around the Tendamba Crescent, I can tell you, Mama B, over 3 dozen persons were brutalized in that area. But they wouldn't like to go to either the police station or the hospital for a medical report. But these are people who are not, it's not rocket science or whatever that they can use to do their investigation. The people themselves have to come up and then tell them what actually transpired. And so for now, the victims, I will tell you that I can only talk about Gafuru Mahama, who developed a fracture on the right thigh bone. He has been operated on, and he is recuperating. So that is the only person that I can tell you about for now.
Oh, that's very interesting to think that all the people that we saw kneeling in the gutters, in the gutter, nobody went forward, you know, to show themselves up and say that I'm a victim of what the military men came to do on the streets on that day.
Yes, even around the Gual filling station at Sakwiri, there were about 4, when the committee went back to the crime scene or the scene of the incident, they got about 3 or 4 people, and they were even pleading with them to have a medical report so that they can be part of it. They said, no, it's Allah's way, and then they have left it to God. And so,
Wow.
so it really gave a lot of, what do you call it? It gave the committee a equivalent tax, and
Okay.
there are challenges on.
Well, but it's good that you explained to us that traditionally, I mean, that's what is noted of the area. That's what you would expect. So thank you for putting the highlight on that. Let's talk about the fertilizer issue. Yeah,
because Mama, we have a subculture we call Tijabu Yini. We are all one, and so nobody is an island in what everybody is related to the other. For them to take somebody to pieces, and they don't think that is the best. And so that's why some of these they don't even go near there.
Okay,
but talking about the fertilizer.
Yeah, Rafik, stay with me for a while. Let me find out if Ohimin is with us, so that we can do a sharp contrast. Okay, Ohimin is not on with us yet, but we will get him. We will talk about the Ejira Pro, because unlike this one, there are people who are actually voluntarily coming forward so that they can hear their stories. So Rafik, let's talk about the fertilizer. It's been big. We now know that not just the Upper West, there are a lot of areas in the country, if not around, as in everywhere in the country, where we know that the fertilizers, this is the one that government is giving out, which is reduced. People are not getting it at all. So you brought the story and then the president spoke. Let's talk about your story and let's find out what the president said.
Mama, let me tell you, you know, I'm also doing farming. And for the past 4 months, 4 weeks, let me tell you, I have been looking for fertilizer to give to this my smallholder farmers. And I needed about 1,200 bags of fertilizer. As I talk to you now, you can't get a single subsidized fertilizer in the Wat Township. They are not there. We come around the whole of the Upper West region for 3-4 weeks. We haven't got them. It was until some few days ago that I got about 500 bags. And so to enable the farmers to go to farm. And so when the president came, and he really spoke on it, but he said that he's not sure that the Minister for Food and Agriculture is aware of the shortage of fertilizer in the Upper West. But I can tell you that it's big here because the prices of even the subsidy, remember, at the start of the farming season, the government subsidized fertilizer was about 48 Ghana cedis. 48 Ghana cedis. And then also in the open market, it was sold around 101, 104. And, you know, when it was not in the market, when they were not in the stores, you can get it at the black market, some around 60 or 70 Ghana cedis. I'm talking about the subsidized fertilizer. And then also, if you are going for the subsidy one, in the market, it was between 145 and 180. So it was really difficult because if you are to do subsidy about 48 Ghana cedis, and then you are going to go for a non-subsidy around 170, I'm wondering whether they are going to make any profit from their farms. And so it's really tedious. But the president promised that they will get the fertilizer. But his major worry has to do with the fertilizer smuggling in the Upper West region. Remember, the Agri Minister some 2 years ago named Upper West as a headquarters of fertilizer smuggling in the country. You know, our borders, the frontiers are open. You can, around the Sisala enclave, you can pass anywhere and you get to Burkina Faso. And so this is where the smuggling is taking place in the Upper West region. Most of the smuggling. Well, let me tell you something. As of 2-3 days ago, we spotted about 15 trucks. 15 trucks carrying fertilizer and heading towards the Sasala West and Sasala East. As I speak with you now, Mama B, if you're going around that route, you will see the vehicles, you will see them returning, and but there's no fertilizer at either Bolu or Tumu. Where have they gone to? They've gone to the neighboring countries. And so that is really a difficulty. But you see, Mama B, the problem that we are having here is about the agents. Most of the, if government wants to tackle this issue of fertilizer smuggling, they should tackle their party men or party people. Most of the people who are the agents are party people. And so it's really difficult to tackle them. And so that is it.
So Rafiq Salam bringing us up to speed with this issue of the subsidized fertilizer and how it has become a very scarce commodity. Farmers are simply not getting it, and they have a need for it now. And this issue is not just Upper West region. We had the journalist in Agric being represented by our own Joseph Opoku Gakpo, who was also on the show this week talking to us about their petition to the Agric minister. There was a deputy minister of Agric who joined us on the show then, who acknowledged, because he himself had gone on a tour to the Buno Ahafo region, and it was a similar situation that he witnessed there about the shortage. And so this issue, we understand, is being tackled. Let me just bring in Nanaya Ojima. So from the Upper West region, Rafiq, continue to stay with me. Let's just cross over and go to the Ashanti region. Nanaya Ojima is my colleague there, who's also been following this very heartbreaking story of a 24-year-old who was shot dead and her phone taken away. Nanaya, good morning.
Good morning, Mama V.
Great. How have you been?
I'm fine. Just that this week I've been following up on very devastating stories, including the murder of a 24-year-old Angelina Juma by some unknown assailants, and also a suspected murder of a 2-year-old by name Mafati Atobwase.
Nanaya, just bring us up to speed with these two issues of the killings.
So first, Angelina Juma, from my investigations, lived at Tanoso, and she lived until her 24th birthday. She was actually killed on her 24th birthday, according to the family.
Oh, no.
And Angelina had, yes, unfortunate. Angelina had moved from Tanoso to take Maxima Junction to pick up some items from a friend. So we don't know if Angelina could get to the friend, but after she had finished what she was doing at the area, she moved to Maxima Junction to try pick a vehicle from the area to her destination. And this area that I'm talking about, so that's the Maxima area, is a public place, an open place. We have even a number of businesses lined up along the streets in this area. So according to eyewitnesses, 4 men on 2 motorbikes rode directly to Angelina's direction and shot her in the neck. They picked Angelina's bag and made away with the bag itself and its content. So a few minutes, we had some people, including Nana Ajini-Bwate, who is a politician, non-politician in Ghana, the founder of the United Front Party, who in his pickup vehicle conveyed the then Angelina, who was so struggling for her life, to the KNUST hospital, and Angelina was pronounced dead on arrival. Police have been to the scene to pick some leads to try and investigate the issue and find out how Angelina died. I'm learning that the police have also been to the KNUST hospital, gotten some interviews on how what actually this in the Ashanti. They are relying on CCTV cameras mounted in or along the streets of Kumasi to help get who these victims are, the modus operandi, and other issues. And this have sent a lot of fear into the people of Kumasi, especially the Maxima area, I've been to the place interviewing people who live within the Maxima and Little environs, and they tell me they've always had to contend with armed robbery incidents, especially people, riding on motorbikes and snatching mobile phones and bags from people they meet in the evenings. So it's been a major issue for the people here at Tech and Maxima Junction and across Ashanti region, because this is not the first time we are hearing that people on motorbike or people operating in such a mode in this modus operandi, that's armed robbery incidents. So it's become a worry for many in the Ashanti region. Bringing you up to speed about the security situation now in the region, there's fear and panic among the people in the region. Not long ago, myself, I tried picking a vehicle, boat or Uber, as we know it, and the driver insisted that I sit with him at the front seat and leave my belongings at the back seat. So it should tell you the fear in people, and now from where moving straight to their homes, so that these incidents will not be recorded.
And I guess, Nanayao, the Uber driver said that to you because of the recent incident of a passenger who ended up, and this is gory, I apologize, actually chopping off the head of the Uber driver, who was also a teacher. And this was just one of the other jobs that he did to survive. And we can understand. But as you were talking about the 24-year-old Nanaya, we're also rolling images of the family home, and her mother talks about the fact that there are 7 children, and Angela would usually help her take care of the other children. So this is a big loss to the mother and the entire family as well. Absolutely heartbreaking. Was there a struggle for the phone or something of the sort, or they just, those who were at the scene when it happened, what have they said?
Now we've been able to speak to the people, but we are getting conflicting reports. Some people are saying there was a struggle, others are saying there wasn't. So we are not independently able to verify that there was a struggle or not. But the police say they're also picking similar reports or stories from the people who saw things on foot. So it's about the police going down and investigating the matter thoroughly to help us unravel what actually went down, leading to Angela's shooting and demise.
Rafiq, let me come to you in terms of general security. What can you tell us where you are? What's the situation on the streets of Wa?
The street of Wa, I can tell you that is somehow better than a couple of years ago. You remember the president himself alluded to it ad nauseam, stating that a couple of years ago, when he was in the Upper West region, the general talk was about the insecurity in the Upper West region. But through his partnership with the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, they have been able to bring armed robbery down. But let me tell you, one incident occurred here last Monday around the Hen Road, where a driver was alleged to have shot by some unknown assailants on the Tumu Highway. It really brought shivers down the spine of many residents in the Upper West region here. And so the security services, I can tell you, are doing well, but they need to up their game. They need to up the ante so that to make the people here more secure.
What are we looking forward to, just before we wrap up? What are we looking forward to? What are the expectations this weekend, for instance, in the region, Rafiq?
The expectation is that it is the hope of the people that the 2-day official visit of the president will come into fruition. They have tabled lots of challenges for him, which has to deal with the roads in the Upper West region, talking about some communities not having light, and then also the other issue has to do with the education infrastructure, talking about the Jamia Islamic Senior School, which was on the news some few weeks ago about an alleged rapist who got into the school because there was no fence wall. So it is the hope of the people that the present store of the Upper West region will really get them the desired results. And so that is what the people are looking up to. So they don't want anything for now, but they want that the promises that he has given, his words, to come to do the talking now for the people of the Upper West region.
Okay, wrapping up from Rafiq Salam from the regions. He's told us about what's happening. Let's end this one with Nanaya Jima, who's joining us in Kumasi. Nanaya, you know, what are you guys looking forward to? We know that the Jura probe, the committee returns the public sitting today at the Prempeh Assembly Hall. What are some of the other things that you're looking forward to?
So beyond the Ajara investigations, the Ashanti region is going to a weekend, and the weekends have been very exciting in the region. You have people going out and enjoying themselves, trying to release stress. So the prayer is that due to the numbers that will come out over the weekend, there could be an improved security, or we have a number of security personnel coming into town trying to patrol these areas, especially 108 environs where majority of the fun is concentrated at, so that by Monday we will not be here reporting another threat to the security of the people of Kumasi.
Absolutely. Nanaya Jima. With Love FM, our sister station. Thanks a lot. So, Nanaya and then Rafiq Salam bringing us up to speed. Later this morning, the committee will sit, and you know what we do. We'll bring you live coverage. When they sit, we report. That's it from the regions. When we return, St. Thomas Aquinas is 70 years, and Benjamin is hosting organizers of the 70th anniversary. Stay with us.